The next day was Thursday, and it was the beginning of Passover. And the disciples had gathered in the upper room, and they were enjoying the meal, all the symbolic foods that were shared and the story told about Passover, when God led the people out of slavery from Egypt. And during the meal, Jesus took the unleavened bread and he took the bread and he gave thanks for it and he broke it. And he said, "This is my body, broken for you. Take and eat." And then Jesus took a cup of wine and he gave thanks for it. And then he said, "This is my blood, poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. All of you drink from it." And then he said, "I want you to love one another as I have loved you." And they sang a hymn, and that same evening they went out to the Garden of Gethsemane. And in Gethsemane, one of Jesus' favorite places to pray, in that olive garden, he told his disciples to wait and to watch while he went off to pray. And he told them that he was so full of sorrow. And Jesus fell to the ground in such anguish, and he prayed to God, and he said, "Lord, if this cup of suffering can be taken from me, yet not my will, but your will." And he went to the disciples, and they had been asleep. And he said, "Couldn't you watch with me for a while? I am so sorrowful." After this happened 3 times, there was a commotion in the garden. And Judas and a crowd of guards from the temple and the chief priest and even some of the slaves came out to capture Jesus. And Jesus was willing to go with them. But Judas, well, he went up to Jesus and he said, "Rabbi." And then he kissed him. And oh, how that kiss must have burned Jesus' cheek, to be betrayed by one of his beloved. And they took Jesus away to Caiaphas' house. And the chief priest and the Sadducees and Pharisees that were there late in the night condemned him of blasphemy, of saying things that they thought was against God. Things had been so dangerous for Jesus, and now it was at its worst.